Hello, hello. How you doing? So let me just get my other video on and then I will get started with you. So here we go. Okay, so hello, YouTube. I hope all is well. So I'm going to do a 30-day series, and no, this will not be 30 consecutive days. That's not happening. But you will eventually get the whole story. So basically, this series is going to be about my recent PE diagnoses, and just kind of taking you through the journey, just based on my life and what I have going on. So today is just an introduction, day one, intro to series, why I'm sharing my blood clot story. And I do have some notes so that I don't go into the other days because knowing myself, that's what I do. I kind of talk a lot and I will go into like the rest of the story. So, like I said, today is day one. And just a disclaimer before I even start, nothing here is to give you medical advice or guidance or any of the things. I'm just talking from my perspective. In addition, there will be a blog that accompanies this series on my website, makingfunnyc.com, where I will go more into providing peer-reviewed facts and things like that based on research. Okay, so the videos will mainly be kind of from my opinion and maybe some of the research that I do, but there will be a deeper dive on my website. Um, Also, some of the blogs on my website will be behind a paywall because this is just a type the part of the journey that I don't want to be as public, even though you're like, oh, why on YouTube? Because I have my reasons. But on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I will not be talking about my blood clot. I may talk about things around it, but I will not talk about it. If people want to know more about this part of my life and journey, they can go check out my blog or on my YouTube. So I just want to thank you so much for tuning in. Um, and basically, today I'm sharing a story close to my heart, one that's personal and deeply impactful. And if you are watching me live, feel free to leave some comments down in the chat. Um, so, why I'm sharing this series, I'm just sharing it, mentioning the importance of awareness. Blood clots can happen to anyone, yet many people don't know the signs and risks. Because honestly, I was shocked when it happened to me. It was not expected. My mission really is to educate and inform. My goal with the series is to raise awareness, share my experience, and hopefully help others recognize symptoms early or make positive, healthy changes. And as we get more into this series, I'll talk about what led me to the ER, eventually the signs that were happening, because there were signs, but no one walks around like, hey, I may have a blood clot. It's kind of like when I found out my children were on the spectrum, like I wasn't walking around to my son, oh, my kids may be on the spectrum. You just don't think these things can happen, but in reality, they do. Um, so yeah, I just want to share my experiences, in case others, may want to walk down that line. So how my diagnoses have affected me. As a mother, it just took me all the way off guard, and it had me worrying. It kind of have these thoughts that you should think about as a parent because as we go through our day-to-day lives, we never know what's going to happen. So I kind of had those thoughts like who's going to take care of my kids and what's going to happen and all of these different things that you really don't think about, like, oh, sis, get your life in order, get that last paper, like things that we should have in order because things do happen. Um, as a fitness enthusiast, this definitely took me way off guard. I was not expecting this. And I was actually exercising up to the day that I went to the hospital, and there's such a stigma in the fitness community, especially on social media, that if you eat right, if you exercise, if you do the things, you will bypass so many of these different illnesses. But in my case, I did not, you know? So anything can happen to anyone at any time. And that's something to keep in perspective. And I'm just happy that even with my whole 40 and up series online, that I've been talking about exercises that women that's 40 and up that don't want to jump rope can do other things. And now I'm coming to a point in my life, in my exercise journey, where when I do start back, I'm not going to be able to go full throttle. I'm going to have to take some of these slower approaches coming back in, or minor, not moderate, but I'm trying to think of the other word, but milder approach, or a more low impact view of exercise. Um, Now, as a mental health and professional grad student, um, I think that this journey has really underscore, or not really underscore, but it really reiterate the importance of physical and mental health. Um, like this diagnosis has brought on a lot of anxiety, right? Just, and I'm sure like further in the series I'll get more in depth about it, but it just brings up so much anxiety, like so much what ifs. Like, what if I didn't go to the emergency room because my son had a football game the next day and I didn't want to miss it? So instead of me going to the ER, taking pain pills and hoping I'll wake up the next, I'm happy that when this did happen to me, I'm so happy that I was already under the care of a therapist, because it really took me all the way out. And I'm still living with certain anxieties now that I have this, even though I'm taking the medications, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. So like physical health, mental health, it's all important, because this diagnosis affected me as much mentally as it did physically. Um, and then, I just want to raise awareness. Like I said, um, I'm not only just managing blood clots, but I'm also managing pre-diabetes. I'm managing hypertension, so that's high blood pressure. So those are three things that affect the heart, and I'm it's just insane. Um, so as far as like signs and symptoms, when I get more into the series, I'll, get more education on that, because like I said, for me, looking back, I can see the signs and the symptoms, but I'll speak more on that once I get a little bit more education about it, and or when I do the blog that coincides. Like I said, the blogs will go more in depth than these YouTube videos. Um, and awareness is key, just because it could save your life. There with the blood clots, there's unprovoked and there's provoked. So, when going to the ER or when going to the doctors, they're asking me all of these questions to figure out if I was one of those typical people. And I really wasn't. So when I went to the ER, oh, that's probably, I think that's the second video. I'll explain like all of these things. And for me, it was unprovoked. So it was just like, okay, so how did this happen? Um, so yeah, and in closing of this video, um, so some things that we'll see later on in this series is, like I said, I believe the next one is going to be about what led me to the emergency room. In hindsight, what the symptoms were that I probably missed. Um, Me going back into exercise, my hospital stay, my mental health, like all of these things within this 30-day series is going to come up. But in addition, if you do have questions, please feel free to put them in there. Also, if you're dealing with this yourself, or you're a survivor, feel free to share your journey. Because like I said, this is all new to me, and I know that everybody is different. Our health is our journey, and sharing is a way to grow and support each other. So, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this, whether you watched this live or whether you watched the replay. I very much appreciate it, and I'm just happy to share a part of this journey, because talking about it is also healing for me, and it's a way for me to, like I said, use my platform responsibly, because I do have a lot of people that are watching me, and I just want to do the right thing by sharing what I want to share on this journey. So thanks for tuning in. Once again, like, subscribe, share, comment. And if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments or to reach out to me through any other means, whether you follow me on any other social medias. There's always a DM where you can DM me privately. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for today. Thanks so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.